If you grew up in the 90s or early 2000s, you probably remember flipping through channels and landing on something that made you go, wait, is this basketball? Is that dude dunking on a trampoline? And why is this guy pulling a fire truck with his teeth? Today, we're throwing it back to a time when sports TV was wild, unpredictable, and just plain awesome. Let's dive into 3 of the oddest and greatest sports we watched back in the 90s and 2000s. Let's go! Before Steph Curry was pulling up from the logo, there was hot sauce breaking ankles in a high school gym in Cincinnati. The AND1 Mixtape Tour wasn't just a basketball show. It was hip-hop culture on hardwood.
I'm just excited to play with hot sauce, Alamo, all these dudes I've seen on tape. I see them in real life. It's almost like, it's just like a dream, you know what I mean?
The professor in headache. Professor looking at it. Professor in headache. Yeah. Look at the hole on headache. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It started in the late 90s as a VHS tape giveaway with sneakers. Then it blew up into a full-blown streetball revolution. You remember names like The Professor, Hot Sauce, Main Event, Skip to My Lou, Spida, and AO? There were no plays, no coaches, just raw skill, trash talk, and moves that looked more like Mortal Kombat combos than basketball. These guys toured the country, packed arenas, and even played against local ballers in each city. If you were good enough, you could earn a spot on the squad. It was like a streetball RPG in real life. And yes, this was on national TV. ESPN2 aired it like it was the NBA playoffs, complete with dramatic narration, slow-mo replays, and booming rap tracks. The AND1 Mixtape Tour made basketball look fun, reckless, and sometimes completely illegal, but in the best way possible. Next up, the sport that answered a question nobody asked. What if basketball had trampolines and players could legally body check each other mid-air? Welcome to SlamBall. Premiering in the early 2000s, SlamBall was a Frankenstein of sports. You took a basketball court, built-in trampolines under each basket, a dash of hockey-style full-contact defense, and just enough chaos to make your mom say, "Turn that off before you break your neck."
And Fletcher one-on-one with Whitney White of the Rumble.
Fletcher to the rim on take flight. Whitey drops the hammer
With the delay.
Impressive. That slam ball at its
Hangs
best.
in the air.
Created by Mason Gordon and aired on Spike TV, SlamBall had teams like the Rumble, the Mob, and the Bouncers. Each game felt like an NBA Jam fever dream. Gravity didn't exist, and the rules barely did either. Players flew 15 feet in the air to dunk, wore pads like NFL linebackers, and sometimes got wrecked mid-jump by defenders. And the best part? The crowd was always losing it. The dunks were insane. The crashes were even crazier. SlamBall burned bright and fast, but it left a mark. Now, let's talk about the original oddball sport. The king of raw, ridiculous power. World's Strongest Man. If you were up late in the 90s or early 2000s, flipping channels during a sleepover or on summer break, you definitely stumbled across this. Some guy named Magnus was dragging an airplane across a beach with a rope around his waist, and you had no idea why, but you couldn't look away. These events were absurd in the best way. Flipping tires the size of smart cars, lifting stones that looked like props from a fantasy movie, racing with fridges strapped to their backs. And these guys? Giants. With names like Mariusz Pudzianowski, Jon Paul Sigmarsson, and of course, Magnus Ver Magnusson. It was like Norse mythology had its own reality show. The World's Strongest Man had this strange mix of chill beach vibes and absolute brute force. It was filmed in exotic locations, had British narration, and for some reason, it worked. No fancy arenas, no crowd hype, just a bunch of monsters doing impossible things for your casual Wednesday afternoon entertainment.
Get to 30, that would be poor. How far further than 30 seconds can the big man from Cleveland, Ohio do?
We saw one man.
These weren't just sports, they were experiences. Back when TV took chances, when anything that looked fun, extreme, or completely unhinged got a shot at airtime. So yeah, they were odd. But man, were they unforgettable. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you remember any of these.